Long ago, from a dark place called Black Abyss, ferocious creatures swarmed into the mortal world, plunging everything into inescapable chaos. When humanity was on the brink of despair, Ming Bai appeared like a door opening to the only chance of survival. Thanks to Ming Bai, commoners like me gained the ability to resist the alien beasts, though it meant gambling with our lives. After generations of relentless fighting, humanity finally forced the monsters back to where they came from. People decided to build 9 major centers in areas with Ming Bai, holding an annual job transfer ceremony to find those capable of defending the front lines. Even so, alien beasts still lurk somewhere, and hope rests on the younger generation like us. Early in the morning, I and other high school students lined up orderly before the headquarters gate. Today was the 53rd job transfer ceremony in Forest Heaven City. The teacher stood on a high platform, his voice resounding across the courtyard, announcing job assignments based on individual abilities. He emphasized that whether vanguard or ordinary citizen, everyone has a duty to the nation. The fate of Flower Nation lies in our generation's hands. Below, the atmosphere boiled. A fat kid shouted confidently, while a guy in a brown shirt near me whispered about becoming a warrior for a life of luxury. I heard the fat kid scoff, saying the chance of getting a combat job was only 50%. Not as easy as imagined. He pointed at me, saying I was dozing off. Others whispered behind my back that I was the class loser, probably fit for a cook's job at best. And some sneered I'd suit the most mocked job, beast tamer. I heard all the gossip clearly. My eyes grew slightly cold, but my heart remained unmoved. My name is Lin Tianhao, the class's bottom student at Second First High, looking at the vast sky. I thought quietly, the day has finally come. What will become of me? Just then, the fat kid asked what I aimed for. I replied without hesitation, S-grade talent or a rare job. The group burst into laughter, saying I was daydreaming. Even a janitor job was out of reach, let alone S-grade or hidden jobs. The brown-shirted guy added my potential was only C-grade. I clearly recalled my evaluation: pathetic strength, unremarkable willpower, weak stamina, dazed spirit, sluggish reflexes. The system rated me C-grade, a true failure. It stung, but I told myself, no one knows if a village chicken could become the stage's king tomorrow. I took a deep breath, head held high with resolve. If transmigration is possible, why can't I rewrite my fate? On stage, the teacher called the first name, Wang Dong. I saw Wang Dong step out to the courtyard's center. He once openly despised me. As he passed, he shot a provocative glance, as if saying, I'm 100 times better than you. He placed his hand on a glowing stone. The overseer above gently reminded that feeling strange was normal. As he touched it, a brilliant light erupted, accompanied by thunder echoing across the courtyard. Wang Dong flinched slightly. The overseer promptly declared, job transfer complete. The stone's light grew blinding, forcing the MC to shout the result. He was confirmed as a warrior. Wang Dong's excitement was evident, his spiritual energy blazing brightly. But his smile faded when the system displayed C-grade talent. The overseer handed him a certificate, offered some consoling words to ease the bitterness, and directed him to the guild for further training. He mumbled thanks, face stiff. Below, pretty schoolgirls cheered loudly. Others buzzed with chatter. Being a warrior guaranteed a future without hunger. Despite low talent, Wang Dong acted victorious, passing me. He deliberately bumped my shoulder, as if saying, I'm above you now. He looked back, mocking me as the class's trash. I stayed silent, thinking, now a warrior, he'll surely cause trouble later. His friends didn't let up. A purple-shirted guy picked a fight, demanding an apology, while a black-clad one grumbled I always looked grumpy. Wang Dong played the gentleman, saying to let it go and dragged them to celebrate. I stood there, exasperated. I didn't care about their taunts but about what my own job would be. They seemed just as curious. The purple-shirted guy sneered. The brown-haired one teased my dreams compared to Wang Dong, and the black-clad one smirked, saying sticking with Brother Dong ensured a cushy life. At that moment, the overseer called my name for the job transfer ritual. I raised my hand, responding, yes, I'm here. Laughter filled with mockery echoed below. I stepped onto the stage, standing before the stone, hoping to become a warrior, mage, or at least something useful. I placed my hand on the stone's surface, muttering a small wish. Inside, my heart pounded, tension stretching every second. Upon touching, a fierce light exploded, accompanied by roaring thunder. I struggled to stay calm, feeling time freeze. The blinding light dazed me, yet a strong spark of hope ignited. Could my fate truly be changing? The scene drew the judge's and overseer's attention. The overseer stammered, eyes wide with disbelief, as if witnessing the impossible. I slowly withdrew my hand, the light faded, leaving an oddly quiet void. As the mist cleared, the teacher looked at me with unreadable eyes, softly advising me to brace myself for my official job reveal. My heart raced. A system voice in my head announced, "Summoner?" The stands erupted in laughter. People whispered the job was weak, resource draining, and useless in battle. As I stood confused, the system suddenly announced I was chosen as Abyss Lord, with the right to unlock a 3S grade talent skill. My eyes widened as the system panel appeared clearly before me. I thought in shock. Unlocking a 3S grade talent so easily? Things grew unbelievable when the system added, every 10 levels, I'd gain another 3S talent. Reaching level 100 would mean 10 3S skills. I stood rooted, maintaining a calm facade. The overseer handed me my job card as if nothing extraordinary happened. The system didn't stop, announcing it was rolling for a 3S skill, then displayed, "Congratulations. Acquired Demon Sacrifice." I was truly bewildered but thrilled. Only I knew the secret. The system explained, "Demon Sacrifice allows me to sacrifice my life force to boost summoned creatures, demonizing them with hellish power." I shivered, muttering, "Permanently lose life force?" But I quickly calculated, I don't need to fight directly, summoning strong creatures is enough. And I'll stack life-boosting gear later. The system added, every 100 life points sacrificed boosts a summoned creature by 1 level. I checked my stats, my total life was 1000, keeping 100 for myself. I could use 900 to raise a summoned creature 9 levels from the start. Ignoring the crowd's stares, I vowed to plan carefully. The overseer, seeing my somber look, gently comforted me. I feigned sadness, thanked her, and softly said, "I'll create my own world." She patted my shoulder, nodding in support. Below, a girl laughed mockingly, saying a summoner should quit early. Laughter rang again, filling a corner of the courtyard. I quietly stepped down, none knowing I hid an earth-shattering secret. I thought to myself, to others, summoner is useless, but for me, it's the key to reaching the pinnacle of glory. Hours later, I trudged home. My gorgeous girlfriend, wrapped in a towel, rushed out joyfully, asking my job. I replied simply, "Summoner." Her face fell, her radiant smile vanished, like she'd been doused with ice water post-bath. I gently adjusted her slipping towel, nodding to confirm it was true. I wiped her hair with the towel. Warmed by her care despite my lackluster job, she promised to become a mage to protect me. Her words made me blush. I stole a glance, then looked away, too shy. Suddenly, I draped the towel over her face, declaring boldly, "I'm a super summoner, just keep yourself safe." She got mad, laughing and scolding me playfully. I chuckled, eyes on my phone, saying, "Play by yourself." She pouted, accusing me of treating her like a kid. Just then, an urgent message popped up on my phone. I read it, unclear what was happening. Staring at the screen, I muttered, "Whatever, let's check it out." The scene shifted to the classroom. The teacher announced job results: 5 warriors, 8 mages, 11 supports, and 1 summoner, me. The bullies seized the chance to mock. Wang Dong pointed at me, shouting I finally got the trash job matching my level. They spoke loudly for the class to hear. The teacher called me, handing over a dusty book for novice summoners. I went up, bowed politely, and thanked him. He kindly advised seeking help if I faced obstacles. Holding the dusty book, I flipped through, thinking, such an old cover. No wonder summoner is a forgotten job. The teacher explained today's gathering was to collect data on newly assigned jobs. All transferred students must undergo testing. The scene shifted to the school courtyard. Students crowded a corner. A long-haired teacher stood arms crossed before a strength testing machine, sternly ordering the test to begin. A boy stepped up, raising his staff excitedly. He unleashed skills, lights flashing brilliantly. The teacher nodded, praising his decent talent. The scoreboard showed 73 points. A sword slammed into the ground, signaling the next tester. It was Wang Dong. Always belittling me, he swung his sword hard at the machine. A dazzling light flared. The scoreboard displayed 89. The teacher reviewed the result, nodding that he had potential to lead the class. Amid admiring chatter, Wang Dong slung his sword over his shoulder confidently. Then the teacher shouted, "Lin Tianhao." Hearing my name, I stepped out with the guidebook and an old staff. Thinking simply, the book lists basic skills. Let's try one. I opened the book on the spot. Though the text was hard to read, I recited fluently, as if the words were etched in my mind from a past life. As I spoke, a whirlwind swirled around me, energy gathering stronger by the moment. The gust scattered skirts of girls below, shocking everyone. The teacher who gave me the book shouted in disbelief. Stunned, I could summon something. The whirlwind roared, then faded, revealing a tiny, round, white creature, my summon. Seeing it, I sighed, feeling this would make me a laughingstock again. As expected, laughter erupted from the stands. Someone shouted the tiny slime was only good for cleaning floors. It clung to my leg. I asked absently, "Is this my summon?" It looked up, chirping naively. "Biu Biu." The system displayed. Level 1 Basic Slime, 500 HP. 9 Attack, 2 Skills, Strong Corrosive Slime and Slime Spray. No equipment. Though I summoned it, I groaned in frustration. 9 Attack. Like tickling, it heard. Eyes drooping, whimpering Biu Biu. The teacher raised a hand for silence to check the test result. The digital board showed exactly 9 points. The courtyard fell silent briefly, then buzzed with chatter. The teacher scratched his chin, muttering, "Only 9 points." Laughter exploded again. The teacher patted my shoulder, consoling half-heartedly. 9 points are still points. The little slime clung to my leg, trying to cheer me, unwilling to be mocked. I looked up, asking to retest. The teacher hesitated, then nodded. I opened the system, thinking of demon sacrifice, if not now. When, seeing the slime's cheerful grin, I felt guilty but decided. The system asked, "Sacrifice life force?" I selected yes, entering 200. Below, students grumbled, saying no retest would change my result. I ignored them, focusing intensely. The system updated. Life dropped from 1000 to 800. The slime emitted a strange energy, lightning crackling around it. It looked around, confused, its body morphed. Black liquid seeping, peeling its skin in patches. Thick black mist formed crimson tentacles writhing from the boiling slime. The air fell dead silent. All eyes locked on the horrifyingly transforming creature. What was once cute now radiated a chilling aura, its tentacles wriggling with murderous intent. I stood frozen, whispering, "Is this the demonized slime?" The system updated. Demonized slime. Level 3, 1000 HP, 120 attack. New skill unlocked. Demon Dance. It no longer looked remotely gentle. I pointed forward, commanding firmly, "Attack." The slime tensed, then shot forward with terrifying force. It gnashed its teeth, moving so fast no one could react. I watched closely as the slime slammed into the testing board with force that shook the courtyard. The digital board flickered wildly, the device affected by the demonic energy. Thousands of students held their breath. The air was eerily quiet. All eyes on the impending score. When the number appeared, the teacher lost composure, shouting, "What the hell is happening?" I stared at the screen, heart stopping at the number. Exactly 120, undeniably correct. The crowd erupted, shouting, "What, 120 points? He surpassed Wang Dong?" Wang Dong's face paled, throat tight with rage, clearly unable to accept being outdone. He roared, accusing me of cheating for getting a retest. His friends joined in. "Something's fishy." 9 points to 120 out of nowhere. I smirked inwardly. Cheating? Sure, with a 3S grade talent skill. The teacher stroked his chin, face torn between conflicting opinions. Wang Dong shot me a smug glance. I quickly said, "Teacher, I didn't cheat." The teacher didn't respond, stepping to the machine, eyes fixed on the screen. The device kept flickering, signals unstable. His face showed tension, eyes glued to the screen. After close inspection, he turned and declared loudly, "The machine malfunctioned, no cheating occurred." Wang Dong sighed in relief, muttering, "Knew it, that guy couldn't beat me." He loudly questioned, "So, the score? Only the initial 9 counts. Right? His followers echoed him. The head teacher announced the result was voided. And I'd retest later. I was surprised. Thinking, maybe another chance to shock them. Still, students kept jeering, demanding fair treatment without favoritism. The teacher stood firm, declaring the test over. Those untested would wait for the next round. The black-clad guy clenched his fists, trembling with anger. Wang Dong shot him a look, silencing him instantly. As I sat, Wang Dong approached, voice full of hate. You're just a wild chicken. Don't dream of becoming a phoenix. I smirked. Had your fun? He turned away, ordering his group to Black Abyss Level 1. Ignore that loser. I watched, thinking. Black Abyss Level 1, a newbie dungeon? Perfect to test the demonized slime. I quietly observed the 4 of them leave the area. Soon, technicians arrived to check the device, seeing the damaged board. They were stunned. One frowned, noting the cracks, exclaiming, only a true genius could cause this damage. The test officially ended. I left the courtyard, mind swirling with unresolved thoughts. Suddenly, a white-haired old man stepped from a corner, eyeing me keenly, praising my potential as a summoner. I jumped at the familiar words, turning to ask, you talking to me? He calmly offered a fancy staff, pricing it at 300 gold coins. I eyed the staff, looking like firewood, and yelped at the sky-high price. He coolly said he'd only sell to me, no matter who offered more. Curious, I held it. It glowed brightly, emitting an indescribable power. I sighed, knowing it was rare, reluctantly agreeing to buy. He held up 3 fingers, insisting on 300 gold. No discounts. I rummaged my bag, counting only 92 gold. Embarrassed by my poverty, I pleaded for a discount, whining as a fresh graduate. Without a word, he took my money, calling it a deposit, leaving me stunned. He sternly said, want the staff? Go to Black Abyss Level 1. Retrieve a treasure. I stood frozen, thinking, side quest from a game? Before I could react, he shoved a huge IOU into my hand. I panicked, feeling utterly scammed. With no way out, I reluctantly signed the agreement. He laughed heartily, telling me to complete the task properly. I left, mind a mess, overhearing someone ask who the old man was. My teacher replied the testing machine had issues, and the test stopped 2 days ago. The old man asked about me. The teacher said I was his student. Now a summoner, likely facing a tough path. Elder Fang looked into the distance, muttering my chosen path would be full of thorns. The scene shifted to the entrance of Black Abyss Level 1. I stood awestruck before Cold Valley Abyss's gate, marveling at its grandeur. Checking the system, I was shocked. Teams need 3 to 5 people. Soloing Level 1 means system punishment. I browsed the leaderboard for more info, seeing top ranker Fang Chonyun's speed. I thought, taking first would surely yield huge rewards. The prize was dazzling golden armor, boosting defense, magic, and health. A dream item early on. I gawked, thinking, this gear's op. Everyone wants it. As I got excited, a familiar voice mocked my 9-point score, taunting if I dared enter. I turned, sighing at the sight of my usual bullies showing up. Wang Dong didn't miss a chance to sneer, saying a summoner like me dared show up here. Unlike before, I didn't hold back, retorting, worry about your own survival first. His group, all level 1 with mediocre stats, bragged, thinking I'd be eliminated for lacking a team. He called for team-ups, confident with a C-grade warrior ally. His words stirred the crowd. Everyone clamored to join. The atmosphere buzzed. People pushed forward, flaunting skills and jobs to be picked. Wang Dong smirked, selecting a few seemingly useful ones. The crowd praised him, his lackeys flattered, claiming he'd top the ranks. New teammates weren't shy, eagerly promising not to drag the team down. Suddenly, white bones rolled out from the secret realm's gate. Seeing fleshless skeletons, chills ran down my spine. Wang Dong's group paled, faces drained of color in fear. Zhang Wenfei stepped up as leader, sternly warning newbies to stick close or become the next skeletons. The group charged into the realm, Wang Dong leading with a spirited slogan. I stayed outside, choosing to observe first. I thought, trusting them invites trouble, especially the 2 newbies, likely in danger. Thinking of rewards and revival costs, I muttered, surviving is victory, reviving isn't cheap. I steeled myself, announcing, Level 1 Summoner. S-grade talent. Some were shocked, but most eyed me skeptically, thinking even high-talent summoners struggled to find teams. My rare talent didn't win favor. People avoided me like I carried trouble. I kept searching for someone reliable to team with. My gaze locked on a braided girl hugging a huge lute. System showing. Li Shui. Level E Bard. Seeing her bulky bag, I guessed she'd camped here for days. I approached, asking if she'd team with me. She blushed, startled, stammering. You, really asking me? I smiled, extending a hand. I'm aiming for top, no one else will join. You in? Surprised and flustered, partly charmed by my looks. She nodded. We shook hands. The system confirmed team formation. I introduced my name and job. And she followed. I assigned roles. I handle monsters. You just stay safe. She nodded happily, misinterpreting my words as special care. I scanned around, knowing we needed one more for a full team. As I searched, nearby boys clamored to join. Spotting Li Shui. Amid the chaos, a striking girl appeared, causing a frenzy. Tuo Chinger. A grade priestess. Everyone begged her to join. While she sighed at the pestering, the noise made me turn. I recognized the school's goddess. Tuo Chinger. Passing me, she glanced, shocked I chose summoner. She approached, smirking disdainfully at my job, leaving me clueless. Without explanation, she demanded I add her to the team. The crowd gaped. I froze, stunned by her blunt order. She grabbed my hand, pointing at my chest, declaring it final. Nearby guys wailed as the goddess joined me. I stood baffled, unsure what I did to deserve this. She snapped at the crowd to shut up, saying she was in and that was that. Turning to me and Li Shui, she jerked her chin toward the realm's gate, signaling readiness. Catching us off guard, I held her back, pressing for her real reason to join me. She calmly said, leading 2 burdens to first place would silence her doubters. Her words hit me and Li Shui hard. Were we just props for her glory? With enough members, she urged the team to move out. Annoyed but compliant, I agreed to work with the princess. Li Shui whispered, no more members? I eyed the gate, sighing. No better options. You can back out if it feels off. The scene shifted inside the abyss. Snow blanketed everything, footprints marking the icy ground. The group ventured deeper. Tuo Chinger led. Complaining about the cold, Li Shui shivered, fumbling with her thin coat. Seeing frozen grass, I grumbled. This cold gear's useless in this harsh weather. Li Shui recalled her warm light skill. Low level but better than nothing. She played a short tune. A warm aura enveloped us. Tuo Chinger rarely praised, admitting Li Shui wasn't useless. Feeling relief, I sternly urged everyone to hurry to compete for rankings. After a stretch, I stopped, spotting 2 red glints in the snow ahead, looking ominous. Unease rising, I went on high alert. As expected, a grotesque rotting wolf emerged from the dark. The system showed its details. The beast eyed us like prey. Tuo Chinger glanced. Deeming it low level, she switched to combat mode. Spiritual energy flaring, ready to strike. She shifted stance, body agile like a beast ready to pounce. I couldn't hide my shock, thinking, a priestess with semi-beast skills? Before I could process, she vanished from her spot like evaporating in the snow. In a flash, she lunged, claws gleaming, slashing the wolf's face as if to rip its snout. Despite its fierce counter, she finished it in moments. Blood gushing, landing lightly. Her eyes still dominant. Li Shui and I gaped. I noticed her claw caused bleeding. Li Shui huddled closer, eyes sparkling with awe. The system showed rewards. Tuo Chinger shoved them to Li Shui, thanking her for the warmth skill. Li Shui blushed, stammering she didn't need such courtesy. We trudged on. Tuo Chinger led, urging us to hurry. I hadn't shown my skills yet, then. 3 more rotting wolves blocked us, eyeing us like lunch. Before they closed in, Tuo Chinger unleashed spiritual energy, charging with cold, lethal intent. She struck relentlessly, claws shredding each wolf, black blood staining the snow. But mid-fight, Li Shui and I noticed her injured hand. She stayed calm, stubbornly pushing for rankings. Li Shui tried a basic heal, but Tuo Chinger curtly refused, saying the scratch wasn't worth mana. She pulled a health potion from her bag, downing it in one gulp. Seconds later, Her wound healed like it never existed, proving she could handle herself. Li Shui and I were speechless. I tapped her shoulder, implying, "Guess we're just decorations." The group pressed on silently through the blizzard. Fierce winds blew, snow blinding us. We stayed tense, scanning around but not below. Suddenly, Tuo Chinger triggered a hidden trap under the snow, a brilliant light flaring up. She stumbled back. Li Shui and I jumped, sensing danger barreling like a runaway truck. A massive object hurtled from afar, too fast for eyes to track. It crashed where Tuo Chinger stood, hurling her far. The impact boomed through the abyss. The attacker was an elite mid-tier rotting wild wolf. Level 4, huge and agile, like an evolved beast. The system showed sky-high stats. Tuo Chinger staggered up, pale, realizing this wasn't child's play. An elite was serious trouble. Li Shui whispered, wondering why this beast appeared. I guessed Tuo Chinger's kills triggered the system to summon a heavy hitter. The elite wolf didn't give time to recover, hurling a tree trunk like a pole at Tuo Chinger. Too fast to dodge. She was instantly outmatched, lacking real combat experience. Before recovering, another hit sent her crashing into deep snow. She lay motionless, pitiful in the snow, too weak to resist. The elite wolf, wielding a massive hammer, stalked toward her like cleaning up scraps. Li Shui, panicked, tugged my sleeve, urging me to save her. The beast raised its hammer, eyes flashing deathly intent, like a doomsday villain. Unable to stand by, I channeled spiritual energy, punched the air, and shouted, "Summon demon slime." White smoke rose from the ground, heralding the grand arrival of my demon slime. It smirked slyly, tentacles swaying, ready to fight. System showed, level 3. 1200 HP, 120 damage. I yelled, "Slime. Use slime spray." The slime shot forward like a bullet, zigzagging toward the wolf. The wolf raised its hammer, its force like it could crush a house. But my slime intervened, blocking the hammer just before it hit Tuo Chinger. The clash sparked a small explosion, snow and dust obscuring everything. As dust settled, the wolf looked confused, unable to find its target, visibly stunned. Li Shui shouted, "Did you see that?" Only shattered stones remained on the ground. The slime had saved Tuo Chinger from doom. Li Shui rushed to help the unconscious girl. While I stood facing the beast, I told Li Shui to take Tuo Chinger away for healing. I'd handle the rest, she nodded. Hurrying off, missing its strike, the wolf roared furiously, face twisting in rage, charging me with blazing eyes. I commanded again, "Slime. Slime spray." The slime leapt, radiating fierce battle aura. It hovered above the wolf, eyes locked, never wavering. From its body, mini slime split off, spraying red slime like a blood rain onto the wolf. Done. It glanced back, smirking as if taunting. "What can you do to me?" I saw the wolf looking confused, not understanding what just flew in from slime's direction. Upon contact, slime's liquid made the wolf's flesh sizzle in patches. Seeing clear results, I immediately ordered slime to perform demon dance. The wolf thrashed, counter-attacking, raising a sky of dust. Though hit, slime endured. I quickly realized the attack only dealt half damage, so I had to switch tactics. The wolf howled in agony as it was corroded bit by bit, the effect steadily intensifying. I realized at once that the mucus could completely dissolve its body. Despite severe injuries, the wolf still gripped its hammer tightly, charging at slime. I nodded decisively, no longer holding back. I signaled slime to combine demon dance and corrosive mucus, targeting the ankle directly. Slime shot forward swiftly, a tentacle extending as if to seize the target. Before the wolf could react, slime tightly wrapped its leg, though it swung its hammer in resistance. As the mucus sprayed, the wolf howled pitifully. I smirked, knowing this move was effective. My slime completely dominated, bringing the elite wild wolf to its knees without a chance to act. In the distance, Li Shui played her zither, healing Su Chinger, the gentle notes rising like a breeze. Thanks to the sound, Su Chinger gradually regained consciousness. She had seen everything and was quietly looking at me with eyes full of admiration. I analyzed and noticed the wolf's lower body seemed weaker, so I told Slime to focus attacks there. While the beast still struggled against the mucus, Slime prepared to unleash another strike. From above, It casually sprayed mucus like a downpour, its face brimming with confidence. The wolf's entire body was engulfed in the liquid, unable to struggle, its health bar plummeting. The mucus was so potent it corroded deep into the bones, a hidden lethality in liquid form. In the end, only a few broken bones and a faint white mist remained before me. The system announced, mid-tier elite rotten wild wolf defeated. Granting 120 EXP, a pile of items, and level up to 2. Looking at my hands, I guessed the high express came from defeating a stronger monster. Li Shui stared at me, asking how I took down the beast in one move. Su Qinger said the real strength wasn't slime but me. She dropped her initial disdain, secretly admiring my ability to read situations and react swiftly. I turned to Su Qinger, worriedly asking if she was okay. Her face flushed. She turned away, mumbling it was just a small scratch. No need to worry. Li Shui suggested the group rest since health recovery was too slow. I agreed, but Su Qinger brushed it off, saying we couldn't stop while competing for rankings. She stood up, still weak but insisting she could fight. Despite my and Li Shui's concern for her health, after pushing herself, she finally collapsed from exhaustion, falling straight into me. I caught her, gently warning, keep pushing, and it's game over, no rankings to climb. Hearing me, her face turned chilly red, and she nodded obediently, agreeing to rest. I suggested the group take shelter in a nearby cave for the night. So, the three of us trudged toward the cave. As night fell, I worried about building a fire and preparing decent sleeping spots for the girls. Saying I'd patrol outside, Li Shui grumbled, saying she was exhausted and needed rest first. Barely 5 seconds after lying down, she was fast asleep. Su Qinger and I exchanged puzzled looks. I turned to urge Su Qinger to rest too, then quietly stepped outside. Suddenly, she thanked me for saving her, her face clearly flushed. I grinned, a bit smug, making her more flustered. She turned away, muttering about not wanting to seem ungrateful. She pulled the blanket over her head, grumbling, "Pretend I didn't say anything." I scratched my head, chuckling, thinking her tough words hit a soft heart. As I left the cave, she peeked from under the blanket, her eyes full of thought. Stepping outside, I muttered, "Just hit level 2. Now I'm at 3. I checked my stats, health, mana, attack, defense, and luck all increased, plus a new S-tier talent, Demon Sacrifice. I was thrilled at the clear power boost. I reviewed my gear, noting the new skill only added 400 health, likely enough to push slime to level 4. The system showed my current health at 1200. After thinking it over, I decided to sacrifice 400 health to buff slime. The system confirmed. My health dropped to 800. Slime was ecstatic. Reaching level 7 and learning a new skill, I was overjoyed as Slime's stats soared. With a brand new skill added, I chose the split skill. Curious about how the clone would differ from the original. Too curious, I decided to test the skill right away. Slime bounced excitedly, tentacles flailing wildly. It swelled up, standing proudly in front, ready to unleash the skill. I raised my hand, commanding, "Slime, use split." Slime grinned, creating a glossy clone identical to the original, down to the millimeter. I stood frozen, staring in amazement, speechless. The system chimed. Both slimes look identical, but the clone has half health, is more agile, but weaker in defense. I rubbed my chin, wondering how long this effect would last. The system replied casually, "Only usable for 3 minutes." I groaned internally. 3 minutes? What can you do in that time? Activate it, and it's over. Just as I was griping, a piercing scream echoed from the cave. I jumped, instantly fearing the worst. I rushed inside, heart pounding, mind racing with pleas for no disaster. Reaching the cave, I froze in place. Before me, the 2 girls were cowering, stalked by a massive creature with eyes red as headlights. Li Shui screamed in panic. Without hesitation, I ordered, "Slime, blast it with mucus." The mucus shot out, hitting the monster's shoulder, but it only shrugged, losing a mere 25 combat points. I gaped, muttering, "What? Our attacks are just tickling it now?" Before me was a colossal snow rabbit. Level 8, with 800 health, its speed was unreal. Fast as the wind, I froze. We're done for. Li Shui trembled like a leaf, and Su Qinger looked visibly worried. The opponent far outclassing us. The rabbit's red eyes glared. Then it moved, preparing to charge. Its size was 10 times Slime's. Yet Slime stood firm, unshaken. Su Chinger shouted, warning me to be careful. I replied calmly, "It's just a rabbit, a bit big." Slime obeyed, unleashing a torrent of mucus like a downpour. The rabbit lunged like a gust, its ferocious face clear in the dark. But it spun swiftly, creating a gust that deflected all the mucus. The attack missed completely, not landing a single hit. It vanished, reappearing behind Slime, ready to deliver a heavy blow. I panicked. We're done. The rabbit unleashed a sky-shattering kick, sending Slime flying like a firecracker. It didn't stop, charging straight at Slime's prone form, and delivered a merciless punch. Slime took the full combo. Its body flung raggedly, combat bar dropping drastically. I shouted to retreat, activating Demon Dance and Corrosive Mucus combo. Slime swiftly turned liquid, slithering away, leaving a slimy trail. The rabbit didn't get hit, dodging with uncanny precision. I gritted my teeth. Dodge. 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 So skilled. Li Shui, panicked, asked what it was. Su Chinger explained. It's a giant snow rabbit, known for wiping out teams. I was anxious and frustrated. Su Chinger fumed. We didn't provoke it. Yet it attacked. Li Shui offered to help. Seeing Slime's attacks miss repeatedly, I frowned. Demon Dance wasn't ready yet. The system confirmed. Skill not reusable yet. I ordered Slime to return to position. But before it could, Slime took another devastating hit, its body slumping like spoiled noodles. Li Shui suddenly charged forward, refusing to just watch. Su Chinger shouted, trying to stop her. But before she could, Li Shui grabbed a nearby rock and threw it straight at the rabbit's head. The hit didn't hurt, but it was like pouring oil on fire. The rabbit spun around, eyes blazing like burning coals. Li Shui paled, screaming in terror. Instantly, the rabbit shifted, lumbering toward her. She fumbled through her bag, searching for a lifeline, then pulled out a carrot, tossing it to the ground, yelling, "Stay back." The carrot landed right before the rabbit's nose. It paused, staring at the unexpected gift, then bent down and munched noisily, like it was on a lunch break. We all froze. I turned to Li Shui, asking why she had a carrot. She shrugged, packed it as a snack. After finishing, the rabbit looked up, its eyes no longer friendly. Li Shui panicked, throwing all her carrots and running, screaming. I thought, carrots are running low. We must finish this while it's distracted. I decided to deal with the snow rabbit while it was busy eating, shouting for Li Shui to toss her bag to Su Chinger. Without hesitation, Li Shui threw the bag to her friend. Su Chinger, startled, still caught it. But that moment drew the rabbit's attention to her. Su Chinger quickly used her transformation skill, then turned to scold me. She cursed while dodging the rabbit's frenzied attacks. I stood aside, calmly replying, "We had to lure it out to defeat it." My mind was full of strategy. No hesitation. Unable to grab the food, the rabbit flew into a rage, attacking wildly. Su Chinger panted, dodging, her face full of worry. She shouted, "Done yet? Lin Tianhao? We're about to die." I pointed to a massive boulder ahead, signaling, "Lure it there." She caught my plan in a split second, then sprinted straight for the boulder like a track star. The rabbit, enraged, chased with terrifying speed. Seeing its meal escape, it grew angrier, hot on her heels. She timed it perfectly, leaving the boulder just in time. The rabbit couldn't stop, crashing into the heavy rock. I dropped a rigged boulder from above, smashing its head, then shouted for Slime to strike. Slime sprang from the ground like a spring, catching the rabbit off guard. This time, every hit landed perfectly. I smiled, satisfied, ordering a split and mucus spray combo. The rabbit tried to retaliate, but Slime had split in two. A new slime climbed onto its head, making it stagger. The original slime cackled wickedly, spraying mucus relentlessly. In seconds, the massive rabbit melted into nothing. System. Giant snow rabbit defeated. You gained 200 EXP. 100 short of the next level. I sighed, recalling Slime, muttering, "Just a rabbit. And it wore us out." After that heart-pounding fight, I realized a grim truth. Slime excels at area attacks but struggles in solo duels. Another fight like this would be brutal. The girls sighed in relief. Glad to be alive. Su Qinger turned, blaming me for using her as bait. I scratched my head, weakly explaining. Only you were fast enough to avoid getting caught. They kept nagging. One complained about carrot clutter. The other said they were just snacks. I sat silently, letting them bicker. When Li Shui tried to store the remaining carrots, I stopped her. I explained seriously. That snow rabbit gave 120 EXP. More than any before. Learning a few more could level us up fast. I stressed. To clear the abyss, our team needs at least level 4 to face the level 10 boss. I just hit 3, there's still 2, roughly. We need 5 more rabbits. Li Shui grimaced, saying 1 fight nearly killed her, 5 might land her in the hospital. I reassured, before, we were victims, now, we're hunters, the situation's changed. Su Qinger nodded. If it comes to us, it's easier, let's plan. After minutes of discussion, we set a simple, effective trap. Use carrots as bait. As scripted, a rabbit smelled it and charged without thinking. We hid behind a boulder, waiting for the perfect moment. When the rabbit fell for it, we ambushed, cornering it. After 3 hours of relentless ambushes, our team took down many snow rabbits. The girls hit level 4. And I reached 5. I checked the system. Only 5 hours passed since entering the abyss. The top rank, Fang Changyun, cleared in 8 hours. The girls were shocked at our fast leveling. Li Shui excitedly asked if we could break the record. Su Qinger doubted. As the boss wouldn't be easy, I reminded them, the boss, nomad leader, summons packs of wild wolves and nomads, not overwhelmingly strong but extremely durable, with our team. It'll take nearly 2 hours. Li Shui's enthusiasm faded, asking what we'd do next. Su Qinger suggested resting to recover. I agreed, 30 minutes only. While they rested in the cave, I stayed glued to the system, reviewing stats. Blood sacrifice skill dropped my HP from 1100 to 800. I sighed, leveling up. But health creeps so slowly. I'll die of exhaustion. Checking slime, it hit level 9, stats improved slightly. But no new skills. I looked calm, but inside, I was uneasy. Facing the boss like this won't be easy. Suddenly, a massive explosion echoed from afar, startling all 3 of us. The cave's air froze, we held our breath, unsure what was happening. Without delay, we rushed outside to check the situation. Atop a high cliff, a creature that stopped time appeared, a winged horse with a long horn, its body shimmering like moonlight. We froze, speechless. I stammered. What is that? System. Hidden boss, Qilin. Level 10. With 3 overpowered skills. Guardian deity of the abyss. My forehead sweated. What? A real Qilin? Knowing we couldn't avoid it, I summoned slime, ready to fight. Though aware the Qilin was far scarier than the nomad leader we planned to face. The Qilin lowered its head, pointing its horn at us in warning. Its eyes blazing. The deity was clearly enraged. Each glint in its eyes held chilling spiritual power. Just one glance made my head spin. I blurted, beautiful, terrifyingly beautiful, enchanted. I stepped toward the cliff's edge unknowingly. Slime noticed, urgently alerting me. But Slime's voice didn't reach me. I kept moving closer to the edge. With no choice, Slime bit my leg. The sudden pain snapped me awake, and I stumbled back from the deadly edge. Awake but dazed, I asked Slime why it bit its master. Glancing over, I panicked. The girls were also entranced, staggering toward the cliff like I had. Their eyes were cloudy, muttering dreamlike words. So beautiful, like a dream. Li Shui lifted a foot, ready to step off without wings. I shouted, rushing to grab both, signaling Slime to help drag them back to the cave. We hid behind a rock, out of the Qilin's sight to stop its hypnosis. Su Qinger slowly woke, stunned by the Qilin, hardly believing it. Li Shui blinked. Huh? Isn't the boss the nomad? I peeked out, analyzing. Killing too many snow rabbits likely triggered the guardian deity. Li Shui, clutching her zither, wondered, why didn't killing nomads or wolves trigger anything? Maybe they're not living creatures? Su Qinger nodded. By rule, defeating monsters and the main boss clears the stage. But this unplanned event unlocked a hidden boss far stronger than the nomad. Li Shui trembled, teary, whispering, Can we escape? I scanned the snowy ground, calmly saying, killed too many, our tracks are everywhere, escape's impossible. She bowed her head, blaming herself. It's my fault, bringing carrots caused this. I put a hand on her shoulder. Eyes steady, voice clear. Without you, we wouldn't have leveled so fast. We're here because of our team's effort. And now only the final battle remains. My face grew serious, gentleness giving way to resolve. I stepped forward, standing tall against the Qilin watching us. I won't let anyone in the team die. Su Qinger kept her pride, tossing her hair. HMPH. Think I'm scared? Just don't slow me down. Seeing the team's fiery spirit, Li Shui clenched her fists, regaining calm, softly thanking us. Not seeing its target, the Qilin roared, unleashing a sky-shaking sonic blast, echoing like thunder. I paled, knowing we were exposed, with no choice. We readied for battle. The Qilin raised its head, its horn glowing blindingly, energy swirling as if ready to unleash. It neighed loudly, spreading wings and soaring from the cliff toward us. That moment was picturesque but tense to the point of suffocation, seeing it charge like a cannonball. I yelled, "Scatter now!" The Qilin landed with a massive crash, the ground cracking like brittle crackers. The rock we hid behind was shattered by its horn. Its eyes blazed, no longer divine, now a raging monster. System warning. Qilin activating soul cleansing melody. Sonic waves distort vision and slow reflexes. I clutched my head, yelling as the sound felt like a maxed out Bluetooth speaker in my brain. But Li Shui reacted fast, pulling out her zither and playing a special tune. System. Narrative chant. Resists sound. Boosts damage. Dispels illusions. The Qilin roared in discomfort, lowering its head, growling, as the sonic waves vanished. Countered. The Qilin raged, snarling with bared teeth, now looking like a nightmare horse. System. It's using shattering hooves, charging like a blade to the heart. Li Shui panicked. The Qilin's horn was inches from her face. She screamed, closing her eyes in surrender. But then, a flash of light shone, like hope in a dark sky. Su Qinger dove in, grabbing the horn with both hands to protect her friend. She pushed the Qilin's head aside, landing a bold kick to its neck. The beast roared, the kick laced with force strong enough to stagger it. Landing with unmatched swagger, Su Qinger taunted, "Come get me, hornless colt." The Qilin, provoked, ground its teeth, clearly hitting its breaking point. She deliberately drew its attention, giving Li Shui time to retreat, then vanished in a flash. The Qilin roared, charging with its horn to finish her from behind. But Su Qinger reacted swiftly, leaping high to dodge, tossing back a taunt. Not outdone, the Qilin leapt after her, its speed unreal. I saw trouble, shouting, "Watch out, it's jumping." Too late. In a split-second lapse, the Qilin's horn pierced her stomach, blood sprayed like red petals. The team froze, unable to believe it. It was too fast for anyone to react. The Qilin flung Su Qinger, her body flying like a rag doll, crashing hard. Li Shui rushed over, screaming her name. Her voice choked as the Qilin raised its hoof, ready to crush Su Qinger's motionless body. I clenched my fists, heart squeezed. My promise to protect the team echoed. Yet this happened. I roared in fury. Now it's our turn to strike. System showed Slime's stats, level 9. 1700 HP, all skills unchanged. Sensing the rising momentum, the Qilin suddenly turned back. In the sky, Slime hovered, awaiting my command. It sucked in its belly, cheeks puffed like blowing a trumpet, ready for a big shot. A fierce corrosive mucus blast shot like an arrow, hitting the Qilin square. It couldn't dodge the surprise attack. Li Shui stood stunned, disbelieving. Slime's overpowering the unicorn Qilin? I explained. Qilin's weak to dark attributes, Slime's pure demonic. A perfect counter. Seizing the chance, Slime unleashed another mucus wave. The Qilin wailed, clearly in agony from the relentless hits. Badly wounded, the deity started to retreat. Li Shui shouted, "It's trying to escape." I yelled without hesitation, "Want to run? Forget it." I ordered Slime to use a killer combo. Enhanced corrosive mucus with demon dance. Slime instantly turned liquid, body quivering, ready to strike. Then it shot skyward like a living bullet. It chased the Qilin at unbelievable speed. In a flash, Slime closed in, mere inches from its target. The Qilin gaped, baffled how a blob could be so fast. A crash sounded as the blow struck the Qilin's right wing. I cheered in excitement. Perfect. The impact exploded, a huge dust cloud obscuring vision. But through the smoke, the Qilin still stood. It roared, unleashing a terrifying sonic wave at Slime. I shouted, "Cover your ears." The sonic boom shook the air. The Qilin charged to finish Slime. Staying calm, I yelled, "Dodge, use split." The sweeping blow missed. Slime split into two forms. The two blobs dodged the lethal strike by a hair. The Qilin paused, confused, facing two identical slimes. Without orders, both slimes counterattacked. The Qilin, unrelenting, unleashed shattering hooves, pouring all its power into a final blow. Checking the skill timer, I paled, shouting, 3 minutes left. Finish it now. One slime couldn't dodge, crushed flat, vanishing without a trace. The other, seizing the Qilin's stumble, closed in fast. The final blow landed as the Qilin faltered. Slime grinned slyly. Striking without hesitation, the Qilin let out a low groan, its body trembling violently. That hit pushed it to the edge. It stomped hard, standing upright, eyes blazing with no trace of reason. Slime hovered, grinning like it just ate its favorite treat. Veins bulged on the Qilin's face, its rage ready to burn the sky. System flashed. Berserk state activated. Qilin completely unhinged. I started to panic, shouting for Slime to retreat. No more reckless fighting. Slime obeyed, pulling back while leaving a corrosive wound on the mad horse. Despite its fury, the Qilin showed exhaustion, body scarred, sweating like it ran a marathon. Both sides paused, staring each other down, ready for the final round. I held my breath, locking eyes, trying to predict its next move. The Qilin stared back but didn't charge as expected. I frowned. Why is it just standing there? Glancing down, I gasped. Wait. At its feet, a pool of black blood spread, staining the ground. Su Qinger shouted. What are you waiting for? Finish it. Li Shui rushed over, hands shaking but eyes determined. I'll help. Su Qinger snapped. If you won't act, I'll end it myself. I was stunned by her sudden resolve. Before I could speak, Su Qinger charged, slashing fiercely at the Qilin. This time, the Qilin couldn't dodge or resist, it collapsed. The fight seemingly over. But then, strangely, the Qilin began to cry, its sobs echoing eerily. Su Qinger backed off, instincts warning something was wrong. She stammered. It's really crying? Suddenly, a beam of light shot from the Qilin's body skyward, swirling into a fierce energy vortex. The shockwave rang our ears. We covered them to avoid going deaf. The ground cracked. Rocks fell from all sides. A deafening rumble. A massive boulder aimed straight for me from above. I shouted, "Slime, block it quick." Slime swelled huge, forming a giant shield to stop the rock. The boulder hit, blocked. Slime puffed proudly, like it nailed an epic task. The rock slowly corroded, sliding off Slime's body to the ground. I sighed. Saved by a hair. Didn't expect such a clutch save. But rocks kept falling. Denser. I scanned, shouting. This place is collapsing. We need to get out. I called. Where are you two? Get to me. A rock nearly hit Li Shui, missing by inches. Another aimed for Su Qinger's head. She slashed, shattering it into rubble midair. Without pause, she sped out of the collapse zone like lightning. Reaching me, I used Slime as a shield to protect her from falling rocks. She asked. Shocked. Why's everything crumbling? I explained gravely. The guardian deity's defeat caused this place to collapse, losing its magical core. But then, I noticed something odd. A giant boulder was falling toward the motionless Qilin. I shouted, Slime, use split, protect the unicorn Qilin. Slime chirped, instantly splitting off a small part. The clone detached at lightning speed. It launched upward, intercepting the boulder before it could crush the Qilin. Slime wrapped around the Qilin's body, shielding it perfectly from the massive rock. It grinned casually, as if guarding a deity was a morning chore. But looking closer, Slime's smile seemed off, twisted, lacking its usual charm. Suddenly, Slime's body bounced like a spring, blasting away more rolling rocks. After the impact, the Qilin coughed up dark blood, looking worse. Yet, strangely, the collapse seemed to stop. We sighed in relief. I turned to the girls. Let's go check on it. Su Qinger blinked, confused. Huh? How'd this happen? I knelt to observe, surprisingly. The Qilin's blood didn't destroy but sprouted grass. The ground slowly healing. The Qilin groaned softly, raising its head, its eyes no longer hostile. Su Qinger gripped her claws, ready to finish it, but I raised a hand. Wait. Not yet. She frowned, angrily asking what I was thinking. Li Shui spoke slowly, puzzled, sensing something strange. Su Qinger was shocked even she hesitated. I stared into the Qilin's eyes, trying to grasp its silent message. My thoughts swirled, brow furrowed, heart pounding with unease. The Qilin suddenly roared in anguish, its body convulsing violently. Li Shui backed away, pale with fear. Su Qinger lost patience, shouting, I don't care. I'm ending it now. I yelled, stop, but she didn't listen, charging to deliver the final blow. By then, the Qilin was exhausted, collapsing again. Suddenly, its belly twitched oddly, as if something inside stirred. A small horn pierced its skin, emitting a faint glow. Su Qinger froze. Is that another unicorn beast? A tiny creature flew from the Qilin's body, glowing like a living gem. A baby Qilin. The sight left Su Qinger reeling, her eyes wavering. She gritted her teeth, tense. Maybe it's a Nirvana rebirth skill. We must kill it before it fully recovers. She leapt, ready to strike instantly. Without thinking, I blocked her, shouting, stop. Her claws grazed my face, but I stood firm, unyielding. The graze cut my cheek, blood seeping out. A drop of blood landed on her claw. That drop fell onto the baby Qilin's tiny horn. Instantly, the horn blazed brightly, light spreading around. As we stood stunned, the system announced, contract successfully formed. Li Shui and Su Qinger froze like statues, eyes locked on the baby Qilin. I was no better, my mind a whirlwind of question marks, struggling to process. Suddenly, a strange light glowed under the baby Qilin's feet, spreading evenly. Then, it turned into a streak of light, diving straight into my forehead. I stood frozen, eyes and mouth wide, unable to believe it happened. System. Baby Unicorn Beast. Abyss Frost Valley Creature. Level 1. HP 600. Attack 15. Agility 100. Defense 2. With 3 skills. In my mind I saw it curled up, glowing like a fluffy orb. I smirked, utterly satisfied. Everything went as I'd hoped. I finally understood. The mother Qilin wasn't fighting to the death. She was protecting her unborn child. Looking at the tiny creature in my mind, I said slowly, now, I have a new summoned beast. While I connected, Su Qinger, still confused, grew suspicious seeing the baby Qilin's flash. Suddenly, the mother Qilin's body glowed intensely, like a candle flaring before fading. The ground cracked like a spiderweb. Su Qinger frantically pulled Li Shui. Run. Now. Seeing me still standing, she yelled, are you stupid? Run. But I didn't move, gazing at the fading Qilin, whispering, I promise to care for your child. After my vow, the light flared brighter, and the mother Qilin dissolved into stardust. System. You defeated the unicorn beast, gained Qilin horn, divine beast fur, primal blood, and abyss clear metal. Slime bounced beside me, eyeing me like, Master, you staying there forever? Another alert. Congratulations, you broke the stage clear time record. Leaderboard updating. I frowned, sensing something off. It all went too smoothly. Suspiciously so. From the high cliff, the girls saw I hadn't retreated. Li Shui shouted, what are you waiting for? Go. But the ground shook, sliding away in chunks. I muttered, no escaping now. A second later, I plummeted into the bottomless abyss above. 2 screams echoed. Lin Tianhao. I fell freely, unable to react, mind blank. During the fall, a red system prompt appeared. Leave the dungeon? Without thinking, I slammed yes like a survival reflex. A light enveloped me, and my body vanished from the collapse. The girls above were also pulled out by the system, teleported safely. Opening my eyes, we were at the abyss entrance. Daylight blazing. Li Shui clutched her chest, panting. I thought we were done. Su Qinger glanced over, seeing me appear, and rushed to me. Without a word, she grabbed my collar, pulling me close, angry yet relieved. I gently pried her hands off. smiling reassuringly. I'm fine. As we calmed down, distant chatter grew. People buzzed about a major leaderboard shakeup. A young guy pointed at us, shouting, "That's them, the team that broke the record. Check it out." The crowd buzzed. All eyes doubted. That team really broke the record? A know-it-all scoffed, "Nah. The last team got forced out, hurry. You can still join a top group." Hearing the jabs, Su Qinger's face reddened, nearly charging at them. Li Shui quickly held her back, calming her. All eyes turned to the dungeon exit, waiting to see the true top player's face. From inside, a familiar figure emerged, Wang Dong. Seeing me, he shot a mocking jab. His voice dripped sarcasm. "Thought you were dead. Trash, still alive?" His lackeys joined in, mocking me, then flirting with my teammates, urging them to ditch me for a better squad. Su Qinger snapped, "Trash. Get lost." One of them, furious, raised a hand to strike, but Wang Dong barked, "Yun Fei. Back off," his tone sharp. Clearly avoiding a scene, he turned to me, smirking slyly. "See the gap between us now?" I just sneered, not bothering to reply immediately. Then spoke slowly. "Open your eyes and see who's really on top." As I finished, he roared, grabbing my collar, glaring. "What did you say?" At that moment, the system pinged, the leaderboard updated. The top name shown. Lin Tianhao. Wang Dong's face paled instantly. His crew froze, jaws dropped, eyes disbelieving what they saw. I looked at him, lips curling uncontrollably, smug. Yes. Thrilled? Absolutely. The crowd erupted. Lin Tianhao surpassed Fang Chongyun. First in 3 years. Wang Dong's lackeys trembled, stammering. "Must be cheating. No way it's real." Wang Dong screamed, dragging up old dirt. "This guy cheated at school." Same thing here. The crowd wavered, whispers rising, half believing. Could it be luck? Suddenly, a clear male voice cut through. "This is the Abyss leaderboard. Who could cheat?" Wang Dong clung to his claim, barking. "I said it. So what? Who dares stop me?" But his voice choked as an unexpected sight appeared. From the dungeon gate, a group emerged, their gear pristine, aura overwhelming, each with B tier or higher classes, clearly elite players.